So when is the next Deadlock patch gonna come out? Hell, when is the next open beta release gonna come out? When is it gonna all come out? Today, we're here to figure out that question. We're gonna watch Ansonex's latest video. If you don't know who Ansonex is, he's probably one of the biggest Deadlock news creators ever. And fun fact, tomorrow on stream, he's going to be a part of the first ever Deadlock Jeopardy that I'll be hosting alongside with 2 more contestants in Chankla and Strawman Studio. So please, please, please make sure to tune in live tomorrow, June 30th at 7:30 EST at twitch.tv/luckdeep_ if you want to be a part of that stream. Without further ado, let's get right into this reaction, shall we?
Good evening. Welcome back to Deadlock Weekly, a show where I've been bringing you Deadlock news for over a year, and this week we are getting into my new beta theory and some small but unannounced changes.
Wait, new Deadlock mini patch with new Apollo gem gun texture and new silver gun texture. I didn't know they were already doing gun textures, but honestly, this looks pretty good. I mean, I never notice there was a gem at the bottom of Apollo's sword, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. Then we have the gun textures. I actually can't tell the difference, to be honest, guys. If someone could tell me the difference in the comments, I'd love to hear that, honestly.
The rest of this week's Deadlock news, and obviously we're going to finish off reading your comments. So if you want to stay in the loop with all things Deadlock, be sure to subscribe. So guys, it's been a very long time since we've talked about the open beta on this channel, because I kind of gave up on talking about it, honestly. You could probably go back to like my earliest video when we first started talking about open beta and, you know, speculation on when patches are coming up and things.
I have to say, open beta has to come, like, I'm not kidding, legit this year. Because it's been 2 years, right? Like, it has to come at some point this year, right? There's no way it doesn't. It has to. It has to.
When the common sentiment for the community was that the open beta was going to come out at some point over the summer of 2025, and now, you know, we're a year later and that still hasn't happened. And so right around once it became obvious how long they were taking to develop Deadlock and how much time they were putting into it, I said, you know what, maybe we wait until we actually get a little bit closer to decide if they're actually going to do an open beta, because it's pretty clear at this point the game is going to be very feature complete once it actually does go into open beta, because the game's pretty feature complete at this point. And
I have to give credit to Valve. Valve is extremely thorough with their updates, and they really don't want to like have any loose ends when it comes to development. And I gotta respect that, because honestly, like, with the amount of games that come out like unpolished and unfinished at like the worst amount of times when they should have been like further developed is like mind-boggling. There's so many out there. So for Valve to be doing this is kind of crazy, honestly.
The reason that I'm bringing it back up now is that we haven't had a major or really any type of small balance change update this month. We've had, you know, the couple of changes that we saw to Graves and Holiday that really pushed Holiday up and reeled Graves back in from the absolute top.
Oh my god, yeah, hold up. The Holiday changes are actually insane. Like, the amount of damage she does with her barrels and the way you can work with the barrels now is actually so cool.
Top of the win rate chart, but it really still has not been really substantial changes, especially when you go back and look at the changes that we got back in May and then back in March with the really substantial balance change. And so it's been a very long time since the devs put their fingers anywhere really near Deadlock, and that to me means that they are locked in working on the next major content update, because they know that they are now on a little bit of a timeline. I think that
Bro, I honestly, if you guys are on Twitter a lot, I think there was like one post a long time ago that like this was right before Old Gods, right? Before the Old Gods update, people were using like the nearby dominoes near Valve HQ to see how big the activity was. It's just so they had like a tracker on like how locked in the devs were, and like if they were ordering pizzas at this time for the entire company, to figure out like if they were working on the update or not. It is kind of funny. It was really funny. I should probably try to find the tweet somewhere, but it's so funny just to like have it be like have people be using like a Domino's, literally not to track your order, but to track when the new Deadlock patch is coming. It's really funny to me.
It's not a super controversial opinion at this point to say that Deadlock is very well finished and that we are probably getting pretty close to the open beta, wherever that is. There's only a couple more updates of features before you can definitively say Deadlock is a game that is worth putting on the market. It absolutely is right now, but as we've been over, they want it to be a pretty complete experience by the time that it does. And the tight timeline that they're on now, or maybe not exactly tight, but there's one gigantic landmine as it comes to Deadlock's open beta release, and that is GTA 6. And there's been a lot of speculation about whether or not there could be a Steam game that releases around the time as GTA 6 that does get that same push, because obviously on Steam we're not getting GTA 6 on November 19th when it does come out. But with the scale that Deadlock is trying to achieve, Deadlock is really trying to be the next big thing. They do not want to be competing with GTA. So
is GTA that big of a deal? I know GTA is that big, is like a huge game to consider, right? But like, I feel like it's different markets. But then again, everyone will probably be playing GTA 6 because it's gonna be like a generational game. I don't even know. Like, do Valve even care? Like, Valve just feel like the guys who are just low key just don't care. They'll just drop something, and then it'll just take off over time as people find it. I don't know how much they care about it. What do you guys think? I'm so curious what you guys' opinion is on all this.
They are not going to release the Deadlock open beta in that window that everyone else is, because frankly, I'm not going to be playing Deadlock the week that GTA 6 comes out. I'm going to be playing that. And I'm sure there are a lot of you guys who are in that same boat. And so it would be just absolutely foolish for them to release in that November window. And we've seen a lot of developers completely pull games from October and later on in September, and then ignore the rest of the year after November and really start focusing back in Q1 in 2027. And then there's one more variable to bring into this conversation, and it's that now, today, the very day that this video releases, it has been exactly 157 days since Old God's New Blood came out. And if you recall, there were 157 days exactly between the 6 hero update that included Doorman, Billy, etc., and Old God's New Blood. Assuming that we make it through today.
Wait, how many months? Hold on, how many months?
If you recall, there were 157 days exactly between the 6 hero update that included Doorman, Billy, etc., and Old God's New Blood. Assuming that we make it through today without any update, this will be the longest amount of time that we've had to wait for a content cycle. And keep in mind, too, that Valve takes a giant company-wide vacation in December, which they haven't done here. They've had even more time to actually be working on this, even though it's the same amount of days.
That's actually so true. I remember that they were working on development. They wanted to push it out like super early on like December, but like they ended up not doing that, and they had to push it further to like January, like late January, early February. That was crazy. That was a long time.
It's not the same amount of days that they spent in the office. They've spent more. And so it is no secret this update is going to be absolutely gargantuan. And we have mentioned at this point, it would not surprise me at this point if any one of these next updates could be the open beta. And it would we're at the point now where it would shock me if we had this update and then a second one, and that second one was not the open beta. I would be shocked if there is still 3 major updates.
Like if it's not this one that it marks open beta, it's got to be the next one, right? It's got to be the next one, because they're taking so long in between updates that it has to be done at some point, right?
Very confident that that first content update is coming out before November. If we have to wait 11 months for a gameplay update, the game's cooked. And so that update is coming out over the course of this summer. I'm still not super confident, though, that the next one is going to be the open beta, because it wouldn't surprise me with the amount of time that they've had at this point if they want to get the game feature complete, continue to test it a little bit, and then drop another big content patch, where this upcoming update has, the jungle systems, a new objective perhaps, or, a finalization of...
Please, we need a new objective. I'm tired of just seeing Earn and mid-boss. The game just feels empty in one spot. We need a new objective desperately, bro. Desperately, we need a new objective. I'm not kidding.
And they really iron out those systems. And then, we might be sitting there saying, oh, why is this not the open beta patch? Because they want to continue that testing. They've been doing this now for over 2 years at this point with how they've been testing Deadlock. They're pretty committed to this model. And so it wouldn't surprise me if that's what their plan is to just continue to test things out. And then when the open beta comes out, it just comes out alongside a ton of content and not necessarily big, gigantic gameplay changes. A ton of new heroes, maybe a new game mode, skins, additions to Hideout, UI.
Bro, actually, hold on. I got a pitch for Valve. If any Valve devs are watching this, right? Here, if there's any Valve devs that are watching this video, I'll probably make a dedicated video to this because I genuinely want this to be a thing. We need an arena game mode where It's like 2v2v2, kind of like in League. And you could you could pick your own items or like get your own upgrades and stuff like that. Not only that, like everyone is like all these teams, right? There's 4 teams of 2, right? One team is at like a different track, and they all hop on a train. They're on a train together, and all 4 teams converge in Grand Central Station in New York City. Like, come on, how sick would that be to just have like a Deadlock arena mode in Grand Central Station, and you're like one team is on the A train, the other team is on the R train, another team is on like the 4, and some other trains, like probably the 7. It would be so sick just to have like the subway system actually working, because it does exist underground. Like, there is an abandoned train right there underground in the sewers. Like, there has to be a working subway system in New York City. Come on, Valve. Like, this has to be a thing. It would be such a cool game mode to add, unironically.
Changes, maybe that type of stuff, but maybe not, you know, a completely new way to farm jungles. I imagine that's going to come in the next update, or in this upcoming update, before, theoretically, the open beta one does come, and that would come at the beginning of 2027, which you're going to have a ton of competition in that window, because, again, everyone is delaying until that window. But I think, frankly, as it's been proven time and time again with Deadlock's major updates, Deadlock's capable of cutting through the noise, but there isn't going to be a single thing capable of cutting through the noise of GTA 6. That's a brick wall. That's not noise. You can't cut through.
Is everyone going to be playing GTA 6? I need to know. I would want to, like, okay, if I had the money, I would go get GTA 6 when it comes out. But right now, I don't know if I'm going to get GTA 6. I mean, I'll probably, like, I played GTA 5 in the past, and I love that game. That game is amazing. It's such a fun game. But like, I gotta say, like, I need to know if anyone's playing GTA 6.
And so, to put a TLDR on the open beta theory, my theory is that we have another content update, and it's coming sooner than later. It would not surprise me if we are mere weeks away from the next content update, or even less. And then secondarily, I think the next update will be the...
Guys, imagine it's like another like 2 to 3 months for the next content update. Like, they just release it in August. I kid you not, I think Deadlock players would go mad. Everyone in the community would be fucking pissed off. Like, it would be insane.
The open beta following that, and it will come in Q1 2027. And yeah, so that's the TLDR. That's what I think about the open beta. Let me know what you guys think, or if you think I'm wrong. And then, guys, speaking of the big content update, it's no secret that we are like dying for it at this point. The player count for Deadlock is pretty actively collapsing at this point. People are just, you know, they're finding new games to play. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have not played a ton of Deadlock recently over the past couple of weeks. That's why we are watching pro gameplay today, because all the games that I had this week were not good. If you do want to submit your gameplay,
honestly, I think that's everybody's sentiment. I don't know, maybe it's just me, and because I played less, I probably am still like dying to play Deadlock still. Like, I'm really like amped up to play Deadlock, but like right now it's like, fuck, man, it's tough. It's tough. I feel for everyone else, because like the game is still like the game is still the same, and it needs a big change soon.
For the videos, you can feel free to drop that in Discord. We've used them a few of the times in the past, so thank you very much. But yeah, I normally do not struggle hitting 40 or 50 hours on like the past 2 weeks. You know how Steam will tell you how many hours you've played over the past 2 weeks. 40 or 50 hours is kind of...
Wait, how many hours have I played of Deadlock recently? That's actually a good question. Hold on. 32.4 hours last week. Is that it? I've only played like 32 hours this week. I have 372 hours on record. Damn, okay. That's not bad.
My benchmark. And the past couple of weeks, I think I'm currently at like 20 maybe. And yeah, and it just comes down to, you know, I've played 1,700 hours of this game, guys. I love this game so much, but we are now on month 5 of no new content, and really just a little bit of an exhausting playtest cycle over the past couple of months with how much things have been changing with the urn. And it's just been tough to really settle into this game on the night-by-night basis that you're able to, towards the end of the Six Heroes update, where we weren't really having that type of crazy playtest. And again, go back to where the earn video that I was talking about. I love that they're doing these changes, but it definitely wears on you a little bit after 1,700 hours, you know? So I just need a little bit of a change. There are a ton of people who clearly feel the same way, and the summer sale's going on, man. What have you guys picked up during the summer sale, by the way? Drop your recommendations below. I am, here, let me.
Oh my god, I don't know what I'm getting for the summer sale. I feel like I need to. There's so many good games out there, but I don't know what I want to get, and I'm trying to save money though. But the problem is the Steam summer sale is so enticing. Maybe the winter sale will be better for me at the end of this year. We'll see. But I'm curious, like, what is everyone else's like summer sale recommendations? Because I'll probably keep them myself so I could like buy them later.
Let me pull up what I got actually. I went kind of crazy, guys. I won't lie. I got Starbound. I got Planet Zoo. I got this game Outbreak, which is like a storm chaser simulator. That sounds fun as fuck. 2 Point Museum. And then Everything is Crap. And then also I got this game King's Orders, which sounds super fucking cool.
King's Orders.
Like the idea is that it's like you're a king and you got to order your army, you know, like you got to play, you know, the grand strategy game. But the difference is that like you're in like, I don't know, fucking 15th century England. Your guys get like your messengers can get whacked halfway there. And then like the orders don't make it. And then
That's pretty cool. That kind of reminds me of Reigns, except probably more active. I think Reigns is a cool game. If you know Reigns, you're pretty cool, honestly. But like, what's it called? Starbound is the only game that I played before. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it that much. I have a friend who's like really into it, but I think it's because he's modded it like a bunch of times. But I'm not that big of a fan of Starbound. I feel like why would you play Starbound when you could just play Terraria, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I could be wrong here.
Chaos ensues from there. So I'm very excited to give that one a try. Let me know what you guys got. And also, shout out Vampire Survivors for having a bundle for like every single one of those games.
Wait, they have a bundle for Vampire Survivors? I recently realized they actually added like a deck builder game. It's actually really cool, honestly.
Is then cracking on to win rates weekly. Not really a whole lot's changed because we haven't had an update now, and really one that has significantly changed the win rates. And I want to say like a month and a half. It's been pretty much you can honestly go and pick up any one of the last videos over the past month and a half, but I do want to call one person out. And that is Paige, which is kind of surprising to me because we've really seen the other support heroes get a lot of love. Dynamo, Rem, especially Kelvin, but Paige is the one that has the highest win rate, and I do think that it's which actually Kelvin may actually be higher than our limit. Yeah, no, Kelvin's higher than her, but that's Paige is a very high win rate, excuse me. Because I think that she's got just a very easy to use kit, whereas Rem, you kind of need to time your healings a little bit. You can be caught out without tag along sometimes, and then Kelvin, you know, Kelvin's a very heads up support hero. You do actually need a few hours on him to know what you're doing. You can really screw people with the dome. Whereas Paige, you have a very easy to use kit and a very high impact ult, where especially as we get into a phase where it's really only players that have been playing this game for a long time that are remaining playing. People who go for mid-boss a lot, Paige is going to get a ton of value out of her ultimate per game in that type of an environment. So that makes a little bit of sense to me. But yeah, other than that, guys, not a whole lot to go off of with win rates weekly this week. And guys, as we crack onto our esports roundup, we had another couple of 2-0s, but it was a little bit closer this week, at least in Europe. The Buff Enjoyers did win after a couple of hard-fought wins against Abram after properly.
Holy shit, let me see this. I didn't know there's a guy named Empty Dreams in Abrahams. That's crazy. Sonya Sniper I've heard of. Together, I use his builds all the time. Saint. Wait, so Abrahams lost to Buff Enjoyers. They ran Mirage, Calico, Bebop, Pocket, Seven, and Sinclair, while Abrahams ran GT, Viscous, Infernus, Paradox, Billy, and Viper. That's an interesting call, honestly. That's honestly interesting.
Annihilating them on the first map in 22 minutes, and then a harder fought win on the second one.
Yeah.
Remember, too, guys, that a lot of times in these really high coordination environments, these support heroes or, you know, like pick heroes are mainly just looking to help set up a kill for those carry heroes, which is why, you know, even in a losing game, you see someone get a 9-3 stat line. And guys, in North America, FPS Lounge win again, make it back-to-back. That one was a little bit of a stomp.
Oh, FPS Lounge is actually on the rise. That's cool. Damn. Oh wait, so it's Lefa, Poppers, DMB, Lomain, AVG, and Xeno. Huh. They're really dealing some damage here, huh?
guys are watching Xeno's gameplay on Holiday from that match right now. That's what's going on here. Alrighty guys, then finally let's talk some Deadlock. I got just kind of a few things that I kind of want to talk about this week, honestly. Not really a ton of specific comments, but I was really surprised by, and I have been a little bit surprised recently, because I used to be able to just like explain my point on something or explain why I thought something, and everyone would be like, good point, Ansonex. Whereas last week, I put up the video talking about the banned voice lines, which one of them, by the way, is Abrams saying, "You're not ready to fight someone like me." Keyword, not ready to fight someone like me. And the amount of people that think that that is like a voice line that Abrams has had forever and you use when you deselect him and you don't want to play as him. I don't know why you guys think that that's been the hero deselect voice line, that you're not ready to fight against him and not the ban voice line. But trust me, guys, I've never clickbaited you. I will never clickbait you. I only tell you what's true and what's right because I am right. And I follow this shit fucking constantly. And I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So just...
That's my guy right there. That's my guy. Stand on business, Ansonex. Stand on business. That's one of the biggest Deadlock news creators right now, all right?
Do me a favor. You can go back and look at my entire catalog, and there is never a time that I've clickbaited you. Even when I said the next 6 heroes revealed, guess what? I was right, because I fucking believe what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. So it really annoys me when I see people so confidently getting my comments around my Twitter.
Sometimes when it comes to this stuff, people will tell you like, oh, like you're doing one thing wrong, you're doing X thing wrong. And sometimes like that like there's some like something to listen to from time to time. But at the end of the day, you also have to stand on business. You have to have a spine for a little bit, you know? And just like stand for something, believe in something. And if you believe that you haven't, like if Ansonex believes that he hasn't like clickbaited, then I believe that, honestly. And like I don't think he has. I've seen his content before. He never has. So I don't know what everyone's saying. I think sure, like you could argue, I don't know, like yeah, it could be an old Abrams voice line, but I don't think so. I mean, like it's probably just like, I don't know, Mandela effect and some shit like that, where people thought it was like there. But you know what? I believe Ansonex. I don't know. That's just me.
Twitter mentions, and just call me a fucking idiot when they have not even opened this client over 100 times. I know more than you. I know more than you.
Damn.
Just trust that.
He's really
the other one, I didn't
business.
even think about this, but this is a really good idea. One of my friends even pointed this out to me. Earhart, does she any relation to Amelia Earhart? It's the same time period. That's a very good idea. And a pilot hero could be very cool. And yeah, guys, so that's what I got for you this time. I want to thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so much to all the YouTube members. Really appreciate it, guys. And if you want to stay connected throughout the week, obviously, join up on Discord, follow on Twitter. I'm trying to get that Twitter follower ratio back over top. But the issue is that, like, I actually use Twitter as, like, Twitter's, like, what I actually use as social media. And so it's like I'm following, like, all the Boston sports people and stuff on there. And not that I actually care, but I mean, that'd be kind of cool. But we're still a ways away. So, guys, have a great day. I will see you guys again next time. Peace.
That was not a bad video. That was not a bad video. I'm glad Ansonex stood on business there. That's actually a valid take. Like in general, like you kind of have to stand on business, especially when you're a content creator sometimes. And yeah, defend yourself, you know. But yeah, I appreciate Ansonex for the video and letting me react to this. It's actually awesome, dude. Like yeah, that was awesome.